broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.
Welcome to Street MBA, where we discuss entrepreneurship from an evidence-based and practical perspective. Our objective being to create a network of business people that are bringing value to their communities. Hey, I got a newsflash for you. I know I do that often, but guess what? You can't do it all. No, you can't do it all. In your business, you can't do it all. Let me flesh it out a bit for you, because that's what we do here at Street MBA. You cannot heal what you don't acknowledge. I heard a wise man say that to me before. You cannot heal what you don't acknowledge. The key to unlock greater in your company is going to require a deeper look into the inner workings of your company. When I say company, by the way, I'm referencing you. Your company is nothing more and nothing less than a representation of you, of your own person. People say that their business is their baby all the time, but people who have children know that their children emulate them, their actions and their behaviors, more than actually the verbal lessons that you give them. So if you're lazy and you lack discipline, then those characteristics will be evident in the processes and the culture of your company. That's unthinkable. To think that laziness, to think that lack of discipline, that people on the outside looking in could see that about you. Now, they may not be able to see that with the untrained eye, but listen, I have coaches in my life, I have mentors in my life, and the reason why I have them in my life is because they can call it out when they see it. Right? They can call out when I'm being lazy. They can call out when things aren't adding up for them because I'm not doing the things I'm supposed to be doing, so other things aren't happening the way they're supposed to. So here's an insensitive personal example I would like to share with you. Most of you already know that me and my mother are in business together. We run an insurance agency. Now, when we first got the current office that we have right now over on Fondren and Braeswood here in Houston, Texas. Before we got that office, we had a different office in the same area, but not very far from our newer office. At the time, I was working 2 full-time jobs. Right? So I wasn't able to handle all the details in regards to structuring and putting together this new office. I'm talking furniture and window coverings and all that type of stuff. But in any partnership, you're going to learn, if you haven't already learned, one of the most basic lessons you need to have in regards to wisdom is that you need to choose your battles. So I wasn't about to argue with my mother about security because I wasn't there every day to see what she was seeing. So she decided to put a third lock on the door. The problem with that is that our storefront is almost completely glass, right? So what exactly would another lock on a glass door really do? Let's ask another question. Why would anybody even want to break in? We're an insurance agency. We don't do cash transactions. We're not necessarily in a bad neighborhood or a bad location, but she felt the need to put another lock on the door so she could feel safer. And listen, I wasn't about to argue with her about it, so she went ahead and put that lock on the door. But to this day, it's not very difficult to unlock another lock, but every time I go to open my office, I think to myself of how unnecessary, because this is a big padlock actually, how unnecessary this padlock is. How does it even relate to what we're talking about? My mother wasn't willing to acknowledge that her real issue is that she felt unsafe with people being able to walk right in off the street, because previously we were in an office building. So she was actually solving for a problem in a way that she really couldn't solve, because guess what would really make you feel more secure in regards to that? Right? We can go into all different types of scenarios of what would make us feel better, but let me tell you this. What we should have done is consulted somebody in security about it. That's what we should have done to really solve the problem, because the problem wasn't really being solved by putting a big lock on the front of a glass door. And that's a lot of times in our own businesses, in our own lives. If we're not acknowledging the real problem, then we begin to solve for things that don't give us the results that we really need in our lives and in our businesses. So, with that in mind, we're gonna go into some interviews and talk to some dynamic, yes, that's the adjective I use for just about every business leader and entrepreneur that comes on the program. We're gonna talk to some dynamic business people who are actually being honest with themselves in their businesses and moving them forward every single day. I need you to stay tuned. You're watching Street MBA.
I was recently asked what it means to be a family lawyer. What is family law? Family law is not just about divorce or custody or child support. Family law is about your life. As a family lawyer, I protect your children, your wealth, your future. I don't do this alone. As your attorney, we work as a team to determine your goals and priorities and provide a strategy in an often complex, painful, and confusing time. Whether it's asset protection through pre- or post-marital agreements or fighting to protect your children, I'm here to help. My team and I bring decades of combined experience to support you and your family in all aspects of family and wealth planning, from estate and legacy planning to divorce and child custody issues to representation in complex litigation cases. Take a decisive step. We're here when you're ready. Remember, it's about your life.
Are you a small business owner who's overwhelmed and exhausted? You've tried many strategies, but your business just isn't where you want it to be. You wish someone would give you a roadmap to grow your business so that you can finally live the life you've imagined. Now is the time to get crystal clear on your business strategy so that you can work smarter, not harder. With our support, you can fully step into your CEO role and run your business rather than your business running you. Hi, I'm Jen Drago, award-winning strategist and business coach. I help entrepreneurs and small business owners develop a laser-focused roadmap so that they can earn more, work fewer hours, and amplify their impact. Let's face it, most of the small business advice that's available online is cookie cutter and filled with fluff that will never serve you. It's time for you to stop doing things that aren't moving your business forward. I will help you develop an actionable, focused plan to grow your business in a way that lights you up. Contact me today at peaktoprofit.com to get started on your business growth roadmap.
Welcome back to Street MBA. Guess what, folks? I have the dynamic Miss Lindsay Brantley here to speak about her company, Camellia Elise. We want to hear all about it. But first, our softball question for every single person coming on. First, I welcome you, Lindsay, and I'd like to ask you, how in the world did you get into the spa business?
That's a loaded question. Thank you so much for having me, first and foremost.
Absolutely.
But actually, I have a degree in structural engineering, which has absolutely nothing to do with beauty.
Okay.
And like many people, I experienced a layoff. And when I was laid off, I could not find a job in the engineering field, and so I said,
Wait.
Okay, go ahead.
We're gonna give you some
I was like, I
ideas.
can go into the story.
So, you mean to tell me that because you can't just make a leap like that. You went from engineering, structural engineering. So this ain't just no fly-by-night job. This ain't no security guard job, something that you can quit tomorrow and go pick up another job the next day, because they just need folks and it's not skilled, anything like that. No, you've gone through years of training, years of college and higher education, whatever other degrees and certification that you may have to qualify you to continue to excel in your field, because I'm sure you weren't somebody that was complacent in your field. So here you are. This wasn't very long ago. I'm cheating a bit because I know a bit of your story, but here you are. You just got laid off. We need a little bit more context though, because when is this and what's going on that have you to switch from structural engineering to beauty? You said, 'cause I said spa. So whatever picture that may evoke in someone's mind when you say spa. But what are you talking about? How do you go from that leap? Tell us a bit more about your training in engineering and what motivated you to even get there in regards to engineering, and then we can go a bit more into Camellia Lease.
Yeah, so this actually was in 2009.
Okay.
And in the Houston area, if you know much about oil and gas, it is very, very cyclical. So in 2009, it was a very, very bad downturn in oil and gas. I could not find a job in oil and gas. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I have this 3.8 GPA, black girl magic, cannot find a job in engineering.
But had you had any experience in engineering at that point?
Yes, I was working for a corporate company, and I had only gotten a year of experience out of college, and I was laid off.
Oh, so you were very new.
Very new, very new.
Got you. Okay, please continue.
So once I was laid off, I started, like everybody else, applying for jobs, and I could not find one. And at the same time, I was having actually some health issues, some skin issues. And so I said, I want to actually go work at a place that can help me with a personal issue while I can't, get another job in my profession. And so I went and worked part-time for a spa to learn about how to develop skincare routines, things like that. Wait.
See, you want to talk to me like that's regular. You gonna sit here on these good airwaves and try to tell these people on the street NBA audience that it's a regular thing to try to choose a part-time job or a job at all in reference to trying to solve another problem that you have in your own life. That's not regular, Lindsay. People don't normally do that. When people lose their job and they sitting at home thinking to themselves, what can I do if I can't find the job that I want? What as a secondary job? They don't think about some job that I can actually learn something from. They just thinking about something that's this easy entry. And here see, that's
but
the
they
stuff.
Should be. They
should be. But that's a principle. I think I even shared it in the last program. You may be familiar with Robert Kiyosaki. Are you familiar with Robert Kiyosaki?
Yes.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
So the defining principle in that book for me is go to work to learn, not to earn.
Absolutely.
So did you know that principle prior to, obviously you knew the principle, but did you know that from that book?
No.
Prior to making that decision in regards to what job you were going to choose?
No, not at all. I really and truly was just doing it out of a personal desire initially. I'm like, I have this problem, and while I'm not working, let me go learn how to solve this problem for myself until I get back into corporate, because I just knew they were going to call me back.
So again, that's another, what's the word I'm looking for? Aspect or feature of somebody with an entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah.
You had a desire to solve a problem.
Yeah.
It was your own problem, but and obviously you had tried to resolve it in other ways. I'm sure you had like many women have under their sink, a plethora of different hair and skin products, and none of these were effective. So you determined within yourself that you're going to solve this for yourself. You're going to make your skin look better.
Yes.
So you ended up working in a spa.
Yes, and I was working part-time, and the more I was trying to learn, I was like, let me create something, that's going to solve my problem.
Did you annoy the people at the spa? trying to learn when you just what was your job title when you went to work at the spa?
I started off as like a spa receptionist.
That's
like,
what I figured.
Yeah, I started at the very bottom.
Right. So I can imagine you poking your head in there, asking about skincare and all that type of stuff. After a while, they got a little tired. At first, they would be, most business owners would be excited about their new employee wanting to be up in everything. But after a while, that gets a little tired. So how did that work out for you?
Well, so I will say I was blessed because she didn't get tired, but she was like, okay, you have a little bit more business acumen. And she was like, go back to school. I think you need to go back to school. Yeah. And she encouraged me to go back to school to actually learn medical aesthetics. And once I did that, I went from being her receptionist to doing the services and ordering the products and, naturally like moving more into a service-based role for that company.
So did you totally abandon engineering at that point? Or was it still a temporary deal? Because now you're talking about you going to school. How long was the school?
Well, school was a year. And so I will say that this was probably a 2.5 year gap where I was doing no engineering. I was literally working part-time at the spa, going to school, learning this. And then I was
How long were you working at the spa before you decided to go to school?
6 months.
6 months. So you were already you full-fledged. Because listen, let's talk logistics now. You get the bug that you decide you're going to go to the esthetician school, but that doesn't necessarily mean it starts next week. So then you had to wait for school to start. So you were pretty quick from receptionist to I'm going to do this I almost said the B word. I'm going to do this myself.
Yes, yeah.
Lindsay, you're showing your true colors.
I've always been a little ambitious, but once I found that passion, I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And I was I was actually working 2 jobs. Let me say this. I was working 2 spa jobs.
What?
Before I went to school. Yes, I worked for 2 different spas because spa money is not the same as engineering money.
It really is.
So my husband was looking like, wait, you gonna go work at a spa? And I was like, don't worry, I got a plan. I'm gonna, finesse this. And so I wound up having to work at 2 spas to make the income. But I was
just to keep the man off your back.
Yep, I was determined to do this, and in order to do it, I had to work 2 part-time jobs, and I absorbed as much as I could. And then I was actually called back into corporate America.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this wasn't the end all. This wasn't your origin story where you just left engineering and now you're this great esthetician and then parlay right into a brand new business and all that type of stuff.
I did not jump out of the plane.
There was more.
I did not jump out of the plane without a parachute. I actually went back to corporate America. The same company I was working for, they called me back.
That's interesting.
2 years later, they called me back, and I said, I will come back, but only with the mindset of I'm going to use these paychecks to fund my venture.
Of course, you didn't tell them that.
No, I didn't tell them
absolutely, that. Absolutely. Of course you did. But let me ask you this. When you go back to your old job, how does it feel now that because were you an entrepreneur prior to this right here, or because you were just coming from college?
I was just coming from college, and then I worked, like I said, for the spa. I was learning the skincare, but I had not yet launched my business. I went back into corporate, and that's when I started, because I had the money, right? I took a couple of classes on being an entrepreneur, putting a business plan together.
When'd you do this?
I did it at the SBDC, the Small Business Development
so you did this,
Center.
This is after?
After I went back into corporate.
Oh, after you went into corporate, so now you're preparing to create a business out of this esthetician. So before you went to corporate, had you completed school?
So I had completed my engineering. Oh yes, this was 2 years. So I worked for 2 years at the spa, going to school, finished school. I was still servicing clients, and then they called me back to go to corporate. So I had already finished school.
Got you. So that esthetician money still wasn't mounting up to that.
Not quite. I
hadn't
hadn't developed the clientele yet. I didn't really know what my flavor was. I was just getting there, and when they called me back, I said, okay, I'll go ahead and come back, take those paychecks, and now I can use that money to make my business plan, to get my inventory, to do the things that I want to do to put my business on the map.
So can we go back a little bit further, because you didn't become an engineer because somebody told you to become an engineer. So now you're leaving something. Weren't you passionate about engineering?
I wasn't passionate about it. I was good at it. And there's a difference. There's a difference. I was good at math and science, and so
Okay.
you know, when growing up, you're taught, well, you go to school, you get a good job, you make good money, and that's what you do.
That's
So
what life is all about, right?
Yeah, I was good at it. I was not passionate about it, and
Can we stop just a minute?
Yes.
Because that was, I can honestly say, if we go into my origin story, that was part of my origin story, is that I was told my entire life, that's what you do. You go to school, you get a degree, you come out, you get a job, you make a lot of money.
Yep.
That's, I don't know if you want to call it the American way, you can call it the Black American way. I don't know who gave us that infrastructure.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this, what they did leave out is, how is your job, what you're learning, how does that impact your community? Because if you're not attached to something larger,
Yeah.
then you're just somebody, a consumer, somebody that's sucking on society.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
So that's something, that's the component. There's nothing wrong with encouraging folks to get their education. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not taking umbrage with the wisdom we received
Yeah.
when we were raised. I'm just saying we need to augment it, because that's what we do as a society. We continue to innovate and understand and get better under clarity, I should say, of how we should even behave as human beings.
Yeah,
That's how we
absolutely.
improve our society. So in the midst of you, in your principled self, going through engineering and all that stuff, what does your family have to say? And even the people aside from your husband, because obviously your husband has supported you, but what did your family have to say, and some of those people that invested in you in your whole engineering career when you began to move away from it?
They didn't understand. Now I will say my husband and my mom always supportive, because they knew that there was a greater vision, but everybody else was like, what are you doing? We don't understand this. Like, why are you not going back to engineering? That's a good job. You're making good money. But it wasn't their vision, right? So it wasn't really for them to understand. And so, like, something was placed inside me. I had this passion, I had this ambition, and I said, regardless of what other people's opinion is, I'm gonna stay the course.
Okay. Okay, so this is something we need to flesh out a bit more when we come back, because I would like to know, is your passion for business or is your passion for skincare? Don't answer that right now. But that's something we want to really look at, because you just made, now we might do some diagnostics here on the Street MBA show, which you might discover something about yourself, but I would like to know that. Because for me, that's something I had to learn about myself. Is your passion doing business and creating a venture, or is it specifically being an esthetician and providing the spa services? When we come back, the Street MBA, we're going back into it with Ms. Lindsay Brantley to go and dive a little bit deeper, and we're going to learn about Camellia Elise as well.
Hi, my name is Elias Basabe, founder of Little Maria's Cafe Restaurant in West Houston, located in 2901 Wilkers Drive, Suite 137, first floor. Here you will find a family-friendly and relaxed environment where you can enjoy a delicious homemade breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We know you need to get to work fast, and we want you to enjoy a tasty, quality, and healthy homemade food. So come and visit us for a great, nutritious meal at an affordable price. We specialize in tasty breakfasts, deli sandwiches, fish, even barbecue cookouts. Little Maria's Cafe has it all. We only use the great quality of Boar's Head meats and products. Just like you, we love to get you up early. Little Maria's Cafe is open from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can dine in with us during breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or we can have it ready for you for pickup. Visit us today on the first floor of the CMPC Center at 2901 Wilkers Drive, Suite 137, first floor. Order now at 832-667-8376, Little Maria's Cafe.
Hi, I'm Mike Mogel, the CEO of Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. A clean and disinfected space is essential to keeping your customers and your staff healthy, safe, and productive while preventing the spread of COVID-19. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with more than 20 years experience in janitorial, restaurant, post-construction, and floor maintenance cleaning. We really make it shine. We are focused on quality cleaning and wellness in our customer spaces. Our team is professionally trained to ensure not a spot is missed and we use products that are safe for your property and your people. Our services are tailored to your individual needs and include expert floor care, dusting, sweeping, mopping, vacuuming, detailing, glass cleaning, and deep disinfecting. Our experienced team is here to make your office as comfortable and clean as possible. Visit our website at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call us today at 832-689-7996. Now that's a clean sweep.
Welcome back to Street MBA. We got Miss Lindsay Brantley here, and the conversation is heating up. We want to know, Miss Lindsay, we want to know, are you a serial entrepreneur or are you the spa passionate person? Who are you, Miss Lindsay? Who are you?
I am the serial entrepreneur. It actually took a while to figure that out, but I take passion in empowering others to start their businesses.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That's why I started the Camellia Elise Academy.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. Okay, we don't even know what Camellia Elise is yet. You're talking about it in the academy. So we jumped out a little bit ahead, but we know you have a passion for people. That's another attribute of entrepreneurs that I'm seeing over and over and over again. It's not just about making a lot of money. It's about actually making an impact, solving a problem, doing something for the people.
Yeah.
But for you, I'm glad that you were able to admit that it's serial entrepreneurship for you. Mm-hmm. But as you were in your, because we don't want to mess up the timeline here, so you're back in the engineering firm, mm-hmm. right? You're doing your thing, and your objective now is not that you're still an engineer, but you're also this spa person, because I don't have a technical term for you yet. Mm-hmm. So you're at the engineering firm, but what did you say your mindset was when you went back to engineering?
So I knew that I wanted to create a business. Okay. And so being at the spas when I was learning from everyone else, the first thing I thought was I need to create a natural product that helps with the skin issues that I have. So I actually developed a skincare line first.
Okay, so let's ask this, because I know you have a spa and it's called Camellia Elise. Mm-hmm. We're going to go into the name in a bit, but what I would like to know is, so then why not just start a skincare line? Why have a spa and a skincare line?
So well, I actually did start the products first, but I was always doing services. I was doing services for the other person's business. Then when I created my own skincare, I still had people that were like, but hey, can you take me? Can you do my service still? I still love your facials. Right. So I wanted to have both. I wanted to have skincare products that they could use both at my spa and at home for their skin, and I wanted to do the services. So I did both.
So you wanted to do it all.
Yeah.
In reference to the spa industry. So it wasn't enough just to sell your products. You want to have your own Paul Mitchell place where you can put your stuff on the shelf where you can say Camellia Elise. Now, we're curious. All this time we've been saying Camellia Elise. We see it on the bottom of the screen. What is Camellia Elise?
So I get called Camilla about 10 times a day, but yes, I am Lindsay. But Camellia oil is the exclusive ingredient that is in every product I've developed.
Camellia, is it Camilla or
Camellia?
Camellia
oil.
Okay.
It's a Japanese flower.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So that's not somebody's personal name.
Camellia is not. Camellia oil is the exclusive ingredient that's in the products. Elise is my middle name.
So does anybody else use Camellia? Is this something proprietary? Tell me more.
It's a flower. So Camellia Elise is trademarked. Nobody can use that.
Okay.
But Camellia, like I said, the ingredient is just what we use, and then Elise is my middle name. So I tell people Camellia oil is weaved into everything, and so am I.
Wow. So listen, we just talked about this in the beginning of the show, that your business being a reflection of you. So you even put that in the name.
Yes, absolutely.
So doing business is your middle name in reference to Camellia Elise.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Because my assumption was, because I write narratives, so whenever I see a name or something, my assumption was that this was either a child named Camellia, a family member of some sort. There was some blood relation, and it doesn't get any closer to yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Camellia Elise, you have a spa, you have the skincare line, and people love it.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So they're coming to the spa now. You're building that business. How in the world do we get to an institute?
So I had been doing services and had our product line out for about 3 years at that point.
Okay.
And I had a lot of mentees. I was just kind of helping people in the community that were interested in spa ownership.
Wait
People,
a minute. Wait. So how do you even begin to have a conversation about spa ownership? I don't know of every spa owner or even every business owner that's mentoring people. How do you even get in that space? Where does that energy come from?
Well, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have started my business if I didn't have people at like SCORE and SBDC and other places that would answer questions for me. So I had people reaching out to me on social media that would say, oh my God, I saw you pitched your product to Walmart. How did you do that? And they would email. People would email.
Is your product in Walmart?
It was on Walmart.com for a while. It is not anymore. It is. It's national. The product is in a lot of smaller spas.
Okay.
But we're not in Walmart.
Okay.
We did get the green light with them, but they
You
were
mentioned
not.
something about a pitch.
Yes.
I know something about you in pitches.
Yes.
You want to tell the audience a little statistic
Yes.
that you have about pitches?
Sure. I have won over 10 pitch contests and over $85,000 in pitch money.
Say what? Wait a minute. That's not regular. You said 10 pitch competitions. First, explain to our audience, please, what a pitch competition even is.
Yeah.
And then how you manage to win them over and over again.
Well, pitch competitions, there are business plan pitches and regular business pitch contests that banks, nonprofits, different companies put together and say, come before us, present your business to us, and, ultimately the best people get funding for their business.
So you're talking about like a Shark Tank situation?
Yeah, but some of them, like the city of Houston, it's not really a Shark Tank thing. They actually do like 12 classes. So you go through classes and you're putting your business plan together.
Okay.
You submit a business plan at the end of it, and they pick 3 people from each category to come pitch on stage.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what you did. And you did that 10 times.
Yes.
So this is like a beauty pageant thing that once you start doing beauty pageants, you do more and more of them, or were you requested to come and pitch and you got paid to do so? Tell us more.
You're never requested. You're applying, and you see, the opportunity for free money, you're applying for it. Now we'll say, especially like.
But this money isn't free. You're putting together some real ideas and presentations in order to get this.
It takes your time, so it's not free. It takes your time and your effort, but it's like equity for you. Don't pay it back. That's why I say,
it's sweat equity.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily like the pageant circle, but I will tell you, people who do the pitch contest, they normally help each other. They'll be like, hey, did you hear about this one? Yeah, I'll get emails like,
so there's a network.
Yeah, there's a little network. Did you hear about this pitch competition?
I want in.
I will put you in. I will put you in it. Yeah.
Wow, so you did that. So I'm not gonna assume, let me ask you. So you had 87 grand that you got from pitches. I'm assuming, or I'm asking you then, did you use that toward Camellia Elise?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Now, of course, they weren't all at once. It would be like 10,000 for this one, 12,000 for this one, 5,000 for this one. But yes, every time I would win it, it would go towards, inventory, research and development, whatever we were doing with the business at that time. It would just continuously go towards building the business.
Wow. So you got engineering money coming in because you're back there, right? In order to build the business. And I'm assuming at the same time, this is when you're doing these pitching competitions. Wait, let's do this now. So you got presentation skills and preparation that you're doing. You have your full-time engineering job, and you're developing, I'm trying to make sure I say this right, Camellia Elise products at the same doggone time.
Yes.
Wow.
And being a mom and wife.
Oh wow. Oh wow. So you're quite prolific. You actually that requires a lot of discipline. So we talk about different attributes and different principles of an entrepreneur. So that's some things that's evident right there, is that you were willing to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And you listen, you had to lead your family in reference to that you had to inspire them with the vision that you had, so they would be understanding of the time that they were not getting with you during that time. So there was some leadership in that aspect also. So you got a lot going on, but now you got the successful business going. You got people see that you're doing well, right? And they're inspired by you. So you decide to do what?
I decided to launch my academy.
A whole school.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of academy is this? Is this about making products, or is this about making a spa, or is it both?
Well, the Camellia Elise Academy is about spa entrepreneurship. It's about, so we are a state certified vocational school.
What?
To teach different aesthetic classes, non-invasive, lipo, facial aesthetics, different classes like that.
Oh wow! So this is an accredited institute. This isn't just some talk that you're doing. This is something that, because listen, there's a lot of one-off places. This is in the shade on those places. So there's a farmer's market that I absolutely love on Saturday mornings, and this lady is there. I'm actually bigging up her business right now. It's called Karuna's Kitchen.
Okay.
And she does veggie stuff. Not veggie stuff. I'm obviously not a vegan. I just call it veggie stuff.
Okay.
But I still enjoy it. And she has these samosas that are out of this world, right? But the thing about it, I noticed that, because I've been going to this farmer's market for over a year now, almost 2 years now.
Okay.
I saw recently that she now has classes that she's doing behind her tent in the farmer's market, where she's teaching people how to cook.
Okay.
Now, so she's going. Obviously she had enough questions about how do you make this stuff that people asked her to teach some cooking classes.
Right.
This isn't something that you can necessarily take back as a CE,
right?
If you're into culinary arts,
right?
And actually at the Art Institute or something like that.
Right.
This is just a little ad hoc little class that you can just pick up on and have some fun and learn what this lady's talking about.
Right.
That's not
us.
The Camellia Elite School.
Right.
We're not talking about the same thing. This ain't a lady in her kitchen giving tutorials on how to braid.
Right. No, so we are accredited, and we're working on more accreditations.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Is that right? So you could actually, so is that part of the spa school that you teach them how to get accredited? And well, how do you, so that's a whole nother thing. So you're doing the spa school, but you also know how to establish an institute as well.
Yes, I do consult on that, like people who want to open their own schools.
I'm so sick of Lindsay.
Yeah, there's a lot of facets to my business. Let me say that. We do that, absolutely. But for the most part, I'll say like 85% of our academy is aspiring spa owners. They're not trying to be like accredited institutes. They're trying to open a spa business.
And what just give people an idea, because there's levels to this thing. Give people an idea of what the institute is doing at this point.
Yeah, so right now we do 1 to 3 day like spa boot camp classes where you come in, you learn like safety, sanitation, theory on how to like operate the machinery, sales, marketing, pricing, the stuff you need to successfully launch your business. Okay. And then we also supply them with the equipment that they need to start the business.
Oh, wow. Spa equipment?
Mm-hmm. The spa equipment. We have private label spa equipment that we retail to them. So we are a business in a box place. I don't ever want someone to, have to come take a class and then they got to go spend, weeks trying to figure out what to buy, where to buy, what to do. We provide all of that for our students. Mm-hmm. And then we counsel them on, how to get started. We have a community for our alumni where they can bounce questions off of each other for a lifetime.
Really? So is that like a Discord or a Facebook type thing?
It's Facebook.
Facebook based? I have another question for you, but I was listening so well that I actually forgot it. So Camellia Elise then is the institute. So you also, because I was intrigued also by the fact that you said you're also doing consulting around building institutes. So have people tried to build institutes in reference to different types of education that you've already taught them how to begin to get the accreditations and all those type of things too?
Yeah, I have consulted so far a lady who is trying to do a hair braiding institute, developed her curriculums,
Wow.
laser hair removal institute, a couple different ones. So yeah,
Okay.
we help those who are trying to start their institutes as well.
So before we get too far and we miss the opportunity, please let everybody know how they can get in contact with you with all the entrepreneurial endeavors that you're involved in.
Absolutely. So we have the at Camellia Elise, which is on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Our website is CameliaElise.com, which I think is down below, so I'm not going to spell it. And then also we have at Camellia Academy, which is where you would go if you want to learn about the spa entrepreneurial journey. And then one thing that I don't know if you know about, Jonathan, but we do offer once a year a spa summit here in Houston.
Okay, what is that about?
The Spa Summit it's coming up. It's October 21st to the 23rd, but it is a 3-day conference where we have spa owners and aspiring spa owners from all over, not even just the country. We've had people that are going to fly in from the UK.
Is that right?
Yeah, Trinidad, a couple places.
Okay.
But spa owners get to network with each other, and then they also get to meet with lawyers, insurance agents,
Really?
the things that they need to be counseled to help their businesses grow strong.
So you're doing this, taking a holistic approach in regards to this whole conference thing. Is it too late to register for the conference, or you still have spots open?
Absolutely not. We're doing pre-sales until September 20th.
Okay.
So no, it is not too late.
So how can they? Is there a special website they can go to register, anything like that, or just go to?
No, if they go to CameliaElise.com, there's a tab that says Academy, and you'll see on the drop-down Spa Summit.
Awesome. We have an event coming up that's pretty big as well. We want people to respond to, but I want to make sure people get an opportunity and they get in there and register for your event. So we're going to keep them abreast of that information right there. Listen, you've been absolutely awesome. I know my audience is inspired, and listen, they also have an opportunity to tap in with you and actually get a lot of the education that you're already talking about.
Yes.
So keep on watching. We got some more. As a matter of fact, we have another interview coming. Actually, a continuation of our interview last week with Mr. Adam Nelson, talking to us about his business and his platform at Culturally Distinct. So I want you guys to stay tuned. You're watching Street MBA.
Hello, my name is Colleen Meagle and I'm an attorney. Let's talk business. Do you have a business that you want to buy or sell? It's crucial to get an attorney involved sooner rather than later in any sale process, because the moment that documents are signed, your leverage goes right out the window. So make sure that you get what you really want and protect yourself in the process. So if you're looking to sell, let's talk. I've handled acquisitions for Fortune 200 companies and helped numerous business owners discover how a great lawyer is a partner in a transaction, guiding you through the process and preventing you from making mistakes that can cost you thousands. My goal is to provide my clients with focused, cost-effective, yet practical legal solutions. So let me help you with your legal needs. Call me today, 713-300-9662.
Welcome back to Street MBA. Listen, we warmed up now. This conversation is getting hot. We on the P&L statement now. He's pulling out the tax stuff out his back pocket, and he's about to break it down. So let's go. Profit and loss statement. Let's go, Adam.
Okay, so profit and loss statement. So once you realize what's your profit and what's your loss, then you realize, okay, what's being positive and what's not being positive, right? So now.
So when you say what's being positive, you're talking about things that you're doing in your business. You're trying to get measurables about what's working and what's not working.
Correct.
Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
Because the thing is, in a business, of course, you want to make net profit, not gross. So
what's the difference?
All right. So gross is everything that comes into it. You say for instance, I purchased something for $10 and I made $10, right? Mm-hmm. But my net, I had other small expenses, so I made only $5. So really, that's -5. So I lost money on that. You want to make 15 to make that plus 5. So that's anything for us when it comes to business. When it comes to podcasting, it's the same thing. You know, it's the same business concept. We're talking about editing. We're talking about a cameraman. We're talking about lighting. We're talking about audio. Everything that goes into that.
What does it cost?
What does it cost? The timing. What platforms are you going to put it on? What's the cost of using these platforms to put it on? And then over time, what's that amount compared to what was spent? If it matches, you know, it breaks even, that's fine. But if it's always in the negative, you know, some people call that, like right now, this in the second quarter of the GDP, we call it recession, right? so it's the same thing when it comes to business. Yeah.
Well, you know that stat that most businesses don't survive past 3 years. So what do you attribute to that decline that people, the business aren't surviving?
Well, it goes back to what I said about passion. I think a lot of people go into things and they think that they can do better than what they see another person doing, and not realizing the work behind it.
Because don't know it's hard work here.
Absolutely. So again, like I said, I use this term passion because when you have passion about something, you make it look easy.
Right.
So when somebody goes, I could do it better, you don't realize how much work goes into that. And that person is making it easy because it's just for them. It's just their skill. It's just what they're gifted with. It's what God blessed them to do. But a lot of people have that misconception. They could go into it and do as good as the other individual. When it comes to podcasts, you know, everybody has an opinion nowadays, you know.
Absolutely.
And, you know, we have the barbershops, we have the beauty salons, we have different places where we can have conversation.
Right.
And some people think they can do it better than what they see on TV until they realize how much work goes into it, and they realize this is not for me.
Right. Well, I can tell you this. So we just had a conversation off camera in between commercials about how good this studio is that we're filming in right now. And I said to you that everybody that comes in here that I've had as a guest on the show has been impressed the same way that you have been impressed with the studio and the level of technology and everything that's in here. But what people don't necessarily recognize is that once those lights are on, and that camera is on, then you got to show up.
Absolutely.
And that's a whole, like you said, it's a whole other thing. Some people may make it look easy.
Yeah.
Because I talk trash about being one take Jake, but listen, it's not easy because although you see me talking on here right now, I'm literally, from the moment the camera turns off until I'm back in front of the camera, thinking about what I'm going to say the next time I'm in front of the camera. I'm sure you have some of that with your own podcast.
Well, the thing is, I put it in two categories. You have a skill, that's one, and you have a gift.
Okay.
So an individual might possess both, but most individuals possess one.
Right. So you can develop both of those, but please break down the differences that you would say.
So a gift is something that's gifted, you know, from God or a higher being, something that you just can't possess. Like they say, quarterbacks are made, quarterbacks are born, not made.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You know, that's the gift that God gives us.
Okay.
Now skill, what you just said, you process this information in your head. You put your rationales in. You say, okay, I could do this. I could say this. Maybe I'm gonna say this. You're making all these equations in your head and what's going on, and now you know how to interpret it or articulate that to the crowd to make it sound pleasing or make it sound entertaining. A lot of people can't do that.
Right. Well, so let me piggyback on what you're saying. So with the skill, anybody can develop a skill.
Correct.
Right. So I also play the piano. I'm just gonna use that as an example. Anybody, literally, if you listen to my instructions, because I'm also a gifted teacher.
Okay.
Okay. So if you listen to my instructions, you can play the piano. Now you can develop your skill.
Yes.
Now you may not possess the talent that Kirk Franklin has, because he's also developed his skill and he's also developed his gift. But I don't think, however long I was to practice, that I would have the same sound and effect in my keyboard playing that man has.
Correct.
Even if I had studied as long as he has studied the piano, I don't think I would ever be able to play. I'm not going to talk about levels. I'm talking about what you already mentioned, passion and energy. I can bring my own passion and energy, but it won't express itself the same way as Kurt, because he not only does have, like I said, the skill,
Right.
he has the talent as well for that particular instrument. We can talk sports. You talk about Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, those guys that played on a super high level. Yes, they had God-given talent, even the DNA in regards to their bodies, but they still worked on those skills.
Yeah, they beat on that skill time and time and time again. That were, some people use the term practice makes perfect. I don't believe in that term. I believe in perfect practice makes perfect.
So what do you mean by that?
Because if you practice something and you practice it the wrong way, you're gonna have bad habits whenever it's time to perform. But if you practice the perfect way, the perfect know-how, how you want it done, especially in game time situation, you're gonna play that like that.
Yeah.
Perfect practice makes
here's
perfect.
another street NBA principle. That's something that I bring up over and over again, is the importance of having a mentor. See, you don't even know if you're developing your skill properly if you don't have some oversight. So, because like you said, everybody thinks they can do it because they see somebody else doing it, but you can accelerate yourself if you're really serious about what you're doing, if you simply follow some instructions of somebody that's already done it before.
That is true.
It's all, if you have a mentor. I had some guys on here from North Carolina a couple of weeks ago, and the one gentleman talked about how he didn't do anything that his mentor didn't tell him to do. Now, mind you, the gentleman that was talking had just won 2 awards for salesman. So he had done sales, the level of sales better than anybody else in the entire company.
Right.
But his testimony was that it wasn't me. All I did was what she told me to do. You understand what I'm saying? He said, I just took her mind and put it in mine, meaning whatever she told me to do, that's exactly what I did, and these are the results that I got. So that's something I try to reiterate week after week after week, the importance of finding somebody that know how to do it better than you do.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's the old saying, it's better to be a small fish in a big pond versus being a big fish in a small pond, because we don't know it all. The most important and most beautiful thing about life that I learned, that it's always going to be somebody smarter, always going to be somebody better, more articulate. And the thing is, it's not for you to get jealous, it's all for you to learn. It's like, okay, how can I learn from that?
Yeah, because that's humbling right there.
Yeah.
Because when you finally look at yourself and say, you know what, I might be good, but that guy was better than me.
Right.
And listen, and then be okay with that. I can go back to practice and to the shed and work on my skills some more, and that's motivation. But I understand I'm not the best. And listen, I don't have it all, and that's okay.
And I want to make a point before we get out of here. That's one thing that I practice in my podcast. When I first started, I wanted to be Bryant Gumbel. I wanted to say all my words correct. I wanted to make sure that my stature was. I was like, you know what? I'm not Bryant Gumbel. I'm Adam. Everybody knows me for my personality and knows me for my, my wit. So I was like, I'm gonna be me. And when I started being me, that's when my following started going up. That's when more responses. That's when more individuals reaching out to me and telling me like, you helped me on that, the way that you articulated that, by me just being me versus me trying to be like someone else.
Yeah. Listen, can't nobody be you better than you.
That's right.
And that's the thing. That's the thing we really have to grasp, even in our own businesses. Because I know you can reflect on that in other businesses. When you were just trying to mimic somebody else, you weren't that successful. But when you begin to really find your own lane, then that's when you can really flourish. Because I know for myself, even in the insurance game, the first few years, I was like, what am I doing here? I had some success, but I still felt like a fish out of water. It didn't feel like something I necessarily really wanted to do on a daily basis. But as I continued to do it, and as I heard from people about how much they were helped by the service that our company provided, then that began to change my perspective as well, because I began to see that I'm actually impacting people. So I need to be more, not just diligent, but I need to be more cognizant of everything that I'm doing so I can bring good product to people all the time.
Right.
So if you're not about bringing good product, then you're eventually going to fail, because you can only fake it so long.
Right. And people know. If people know when something is not sincere, you can see it through the camera, I'm gonna go back to the point where I say it's like the church. When you go to a church and if a preacher is saying something and it resonates, you know that it was confirmation that that word was for you. Same thing when people are on camera and whenever you're interviewing someone or you're making your points and somebody says, you know what, that makes a lot of sense because it resonates with me. That's how you know it's real versus coming from a fictitious place.
Yeah. Listen, man. What you're doing, part of what you're doing is ministry.
Well, I want to be religious, but I say it's kind of a ministry. Yeah.
And so we don't have to be super spiritual about it.
Right.
I mean, but some of the same principles, where you're having discussions with people, where you're taking people's lives,
Yep.
using that person's life experience to talk about or learn a lesson from it. That's the same thing we do with the Bible.
Right.
We take the lives of the saints, the characters, whatever you want to call those people in the Bible or in the Quran, and you look at that life and how God dealt with them, and you draw out truth for yourself.
Correct.
That's the same thing we do. We do it here on Street MBA. You do it on Culturally Distinct as well.
Mm-hmm.
You just reflect on what happened, do some self-examination, and spread it out to the world. That's the whole purpose of it, so that people continue to gain, people continue to grow, and we can be better.
Absolutely. And for us to help each other. Service is number one.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So listen, we need to make sure people know how to find Culturally Distinct. So hit them with it, please.
Okay, so on every platform, you could just go to Google right now as we speak.
Okay.
Go to Google and type in Culturally Distinct, and that's me. You'll find me everywhere.
Okay, so every social media platform,
everywhere.
It's just like that. That's your tag.
Culturally Distinct.
Listen, I've had a great time. I feel informed. I feel blessed, energized, ready to go out there and take over the world. I'm so thankful for you coming and being on the show with us, Adam. Listen, you're watching Street MBA. I want y'all to stay tuned because we're always giving you solid content here on Street MBA. Thank you.
Did you know your clients will decide to do business with you and your company within 15 seconds of browsing your website, your social media, and your digital footprint? In addition, your company's reviews will play a major role in client retention and future referrals. Hi, I'm Mike Moran with Digital Dimensions, a WSI agency. We use the latest digital marketing expertise, technology, tools to meet all your company's online marketing challenges. Digital Dimensions is your one-stop solution for social media and content marketing to website rankings and everything in between. Additionally, we have the know-how, knowledge of current trends, and effective SEO technologies, as well as cutting-edge tools to bring leads fast and effectively. Most importantly, we deliver innovative digital marketing strategies customized to your company's exact needs. Take a decisive step. Combine our powerful tools with your company's products and services and increase your revenue now.
Welcome back to Street MBA. Listen, we had a great show today. These entrepreneurs are blowing my mind. I'm sure they're blessing your socks off as well. I want you to remember, you got to do that deep dive into your business, and I'm talking about yourself. Once again, in order to determine what the real issues are for your business so you can address them, because if you don't acknowledge what's wrong, then you can't fix it. Remember that. And remember, Street MBA, we come on every single day, Monday through Friday, at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. You can watch us on our YouTube on demand. You can watch us on demand on Roku through the Now Media app. And then you can also find us on Roku through the Boxcast app. That's how you can watch us live, or you can watch us on the terrestrial channels as well. Please stay tuned, like and subscribe on YouTube, Street MBA. Thank you for watching.
This has been a Now Media Television feature presentation. All rights reserved.